The only thing maternal that exists in feminism is its ability to lull everyone into a kind of hypnosis while it quietly works to rot the minds and the morals of the public. And the idea is just keep, growing more and more extreme, more antinatalist, more anti-male, more anti-anything that doesn't revolve around abortion, sexuality, paychecks, or promotions. And on the front end, right, they're convincing everyone that it's men. Something's wrong with men. Something's up with men. But on the back end, they're doing to women exactly what they claim is being done to men. And soon it will become undeniable, even to those who currently refuse to see it, thanks to propaganda pieces like this. So this piece here is called, "Is Having a Boyfriend Embarrassing Now?" And it's generating a lot of discussion because it's stupid and ridiculous. But of course, the feminists love it. So I want to read this to you. It's pretty short, but I want you to understand exactly what we're talking about here. So she says, "If someone says my boyfriend on social media, they're muted. There's nothing I hate more than following someone for fun only for their content to become my boyfriend suddenly. This is probably because for so long, felt like we were living in what one of my favorite substackers called Boyfriend Land, a world where women's online identities centered around the lives of their partners, a situation rarely seen reversed. Women were rewarded for their ability to find and keep a man with elevated social status and praise. It became even more suffocating when this could be leveraged on social media for engagement and, if you were serious enough, financial gain. However, more recently, there's been a pronounced shift in the way people showcase their relationships online. Far from fully hard-launching romantic partners, straight women are opting for subtler signs. A hand on a steering wheel, clinking glasses at dinner, or the back of someone's head. Yeah, but see, I believe that's because these are not their boyfriends. These are, guys they're just going on a couple dates with, nothing serious, and perhaps signaling to some other guy who follows them in an attempt to make them jealous. There's a whole lot going on there, but let's keep going. On the more confusing end, you have faces blurred out of wedding pictures or entire professionally edited videos with the fiance conveniently cropped out of all the shots. Yeah, newsflash to the guy who married her, big mistake. Women are obscuring their partner's face when they post as if they want to erase the fact they exist without actually not posting them. So what gives? Are people embarrassed by their boyfriends now? People. Just say women. It's so ridiculous. Or something, because you see what are people. Anyways, or is something more complicated going on? To me, it feels the result of women wanting to straddle two worlds, one where they can receive the social benefits of having a partner, but also not appear so boyfriend obsessed that they come across as quite culturally loser-ish. They want the prize and celebration of partnership, but understand the norminess of it. I see. Says Zoe Samudzi, writer and activist. In other words, in an era of widespread hetero-fatalism. Oh my God. Women don't want to be seen as being all about their man, but they also want the clout that comes with being partnered. Welcome to 2025, everybody. Unbelievable. But it's not all about image. When I did a call out on Instagram, plenty of women told me that they were in fact superstitious. Some feared the evil eye, a belief that their happy relationships would spark a jealousy so strong in other people that it could end their relationship. Others were concerned about their relationship ending and then being stuck with the posts. I was in a relationship for 12 years and never once posted him or talked about him online. We broke up recently, and I don't think I will ever post a man, says Nikki, 38. Even though I am a romantic, I still feel like men will embarrass you, even 12 years in, so claiming them feels so lame. But there was an overwhelming sense from single and partnered women alike that regardless of the relationship, being with a man was almost a guilty thing to do. On the Delusional Diaries podcast, I bet they are talking about such profound things over there. I bet they're giving hard-hitting takes. Fronted by two New York-based influencers, Hallie and Jazz, they discuss whether having a boyfriend is lame now. Why does having a boyfriend feel Republican? Read a top comment. Boyfriends are out of style. They won't come back in until they start acting right, meaning be more progressive. Read another with thousands of likes. In essence, having a boyfriend typically takes hits on a woman's aura. This is pretty badly written. As one commenter claimed, funnily enough, both of these hosts have partners, which is something I often see online. Even partnered women will lament men and heterosexuality, partly in solidarity with other women, but also because it is now fundamentally uncool to be a boyfriend girl. It's not just in these women's imaginations. Audiences are icked out by seeing too much boyfriend content, myself included, it seems, as indicated by my liberal use of the mute button. When author and British Vogue contributor Stephanie Yeboah hard launched her boyfriend on social media, she lost hundreds of followers. Yeah, but who cares, right? Like, even if you lose those followers, do you really want them to begin with? Probably just a bunch of dudes or some man-hating feminists. Even if we were to still together, I wouldn't post them here. There's something cringy and embarrassing about constantly posting your partner these days, she tells me, adding that there's part of me that would also feel guilty for sharing my partner constantly. Dude, the saturation of the word partner is pissing me off. Just say your boyfriend. Especially when we know the dating landscape is really bad at the moment. I wouldn't want to be boastful. Sophie Milner, a content creator, also experienced people unfollowing her when she shared a romantic relationship. This summer, a boy took me to Sicily. I posted about it on my subscriber section, and people replied saying things like, "Please don't get a boyfriend." She admits that her content perhaps becomes less exciting when she's in a relationship. Well, misery loves company, so if they're single, they want you to be single too. Being single gives you this ultimate freedom to say and do what you want. It is absolutely not every woman, but I do notice that we can become more beige and watered down online when in a relationship, myself included. From my conversations, one thing is certain: the script is shifting. Being partnered doesn't affirm your womanhood anymore. It is no longer considered an achievement. And if anything, it's become more of a flex to pronounce yourself single. As straight women, we're confronting something that every other sexuality has had to contend with: a politicization of our identity. Heterosexuality has long been purposefully indefinable, so it is harder for those within it and outside of it to critique. However, as our traditional roles begin to crumble, maybe we're being forced to reevaluate our blind allegiance to heterosexuality. Dude, what on earth? Obviously, there's no shame in falling in love, but there's also no shame in trying and failing to find it, or not trying at all. And as long as we're openly rethinking and criticizing heteronormativity, having a boyfriend will remain a somewhat fragile or even contentious concept within public life. So now you understand why she keeps saying partner. This is all also happening alongside a wave of women reclaiming and romanticizing their single life, where being single was once a cautionary tale. You'll end up a spinster with loads of cats. It is now becoming a desirable and coveted status. Another nail in the coffin of a centuries-old heterosexual fairy tale that never really benefited women to begin with. So I wanted to show you some of the reactions to this article. Is having a boyfriend embarrassing now? It is, LOL. And I want you to pay attention to the amounts of engagement these comments are getting. I mean, hundreds of thousands. The comment, "It feels Republican to have a boyfriend," feels so accurate. Keyword boyfriend, right? Boyfriend, not have sex with a man. Dating is a humiliation ritual for a lot of women. Maybe I'm too woke, but wifey material sounds like an insult. And I just covered a video a couple days ago of a couple airheads saying exactly that. I bet that's another thing we're going to start seeing pop up, women saying exactly that. Being called wifey material is a bad thing. Being wifey material itself, they're going to consider a bad thing. Being able, because, they're oppressed and not sexually liberated. Being able to live alone and unpartnered is unquestionably a flex today. Having a boyfriend is spiritually Israeli? Huh? Doesn't even apply. So you take something and you ruin it. It just doesn't fit my brand. I don't know. So proud of the culture shift we are creating as women. Let's keep going. Yes, having a boyfriend is a PR disaster. Every boyfriend I've ever had has ultimately embarrassed me. The value of having a boyfriend has depreciated because there's a difference between girlfriends and girls who happen to have boyfriends. It's true. You can tell when boyfriends drain. Even the brightest stars hate it. It's not dating who's embarrassing. It's the man they're dating. You're right. It's embarrassing. Had to cut mine loose. This one is unrelated, but it's another post I came across, and it is a happily married 24-year-old with 4 kids. And these are the top comments. 4 kids at 24. What the helly? Again, look at the engagement. Girl, you should have been at the club. We 24 so differently. And another one, just been on a date with a man for the first time in ages, and I fear I've become too woke to date men anymore. And one of those comments said, it feels Republican to have a boyfriend, which apparently felt so accurate that it got over 1,000 likes. And I think that really sums up what we're seeing here. It's a testament to how far gone women are. I could sit here and I could tell you about it, but it's better to show you. It's better for you to see it with your own eyes. And of course, this is the work of feminism, and that's why they're now correlating having a boyfriend with being a Republican, because in their minds, that's a conservative aligned value. Dating and reproduction, actually reproducing, not aborting it. And again, all of that is now seen as traditional. And as I've said before, these progressives, they lose touch with nature, and of course, by default, reality. They lose touch with that more and more as time goes on. And we've reached a point where committed relationships, not sex itself, are considered a Republican act simply because they align, right, with loyalty and commitment to a man. And at its core, right, feminism is anti-male. So these girls take a picture with their boyfriend, post it online, probably to a feed full of, misandrists, bunch of women who hate men. And the reaction is, what the hell is this? Unfollow, mute, or whatever. And they hate men. Like that's all this really is. I bet if they posted instead, like, I just slept with this guy and I'm going to go take a plan B now and then never talk to him again, those feminists would love it. And they would love it because they would see that as empowerment and liberation. And like I mentioned at the top of this video, these women are being completely radicalized to believe that, men are evil. They're fundamentally evil and corrupt at their core. That men are a nuisance as well. And, one of these comments actually said it, but it's that they drain a woman's life force. And then, of course, there's the trope that they want to turn women into baby factories and whatnot. But the truth could not be more opposite. It is because of men that these women live such comfortable lives. And they can scoff at that all they want, but it's the truth. And deep down, they all know it, or at least they will come to realize it if they ever do any bit of critical thinking and just step out of their bubble. But here's the author of this article, by the way.
The first thing I noticed online is that there are a lot of women posting their boyfriends, their husbands, and cropping out the face entirely. Like, people would drop entire videos of their wedding or their surprise proposal, and every angle of the man was just completely obscured. And I was just like, why are people doing this? It's so weird. And you kind of ask them and they insist this is about privacy, but for some reason it's you want privacy, but you still want the sort of social clout that comes with being in a relationship. And I was really wanting to get into why people are doing that. So then I just started asking a bunch of women, for those of you who had your partners, why do you do it? And the responses I got back were insane. And there was an interesting subsect of women, and something I've noticed across line, particularly across all of my comments, of women who were just being with a man, period, is embarrassing. Like, it doesn't matter about anything that was said before. Just the very act of being with a man is somewhat embarrassing. And then I really wanted to get into that because I thought that's what's really interesting here. And you kind of just can tell there is this feeling, men are going this way, women are going that way, right? Whether it's our politics, education, income, employment, women are on a upwards trajectory, like leveling up, becoming the best version of themselves, and men are not keeping up. And so now when you see a woman who is just killing it in her prime, and then you see her with a man, it's like, whoa. Oh, the men have like, it's been a mixture. Some men have been like, I hear what she's saying. I agree collectively as men, we need to do better. And but those aren't the most vocal voices. I think there are a lot of men being just kind of outraged and saying things like, this is why you're going to be alone, and this is why no one wants you, and you're just angry and you're mad and you're bitter and you're jealous. A lot of that, I think a lot of men probably feel a bit, I guess worried or threatened that if being seen with a man is embarrassing, what does it mean for them? And I think they worry about that and they project that on me. But overall, they're just really, really angry, and understandably. But this is what I wanted to spark. I wanted people to feel angry because I wanted people to be convinced or not convinced or just like energized to for change. Basically, if being with a man now is embarrassing, then collectively men need to just step up.
Yeah, it's just pure anti-male garbage. Oh, men aren't keeping up. You see a woman in her prime, and then a man comes along and messes it up, makes it less fantastical. And then there it is again. Men need to step up. It's just more hoflation. Step up for what? What do we get in exchange? We're already making more money than you. And they'll say shit like this, like women are outperforming men. Really? Who makes more money still? It's men. So enough. Shut up. Be quiet. You're not even having children. You're literally failing. And really, it's like, yeah, step up and be more progressive. There it is. Be more progressive. Date the feminist and spend the rest of your life trying to convince her that you're one of the good ones. And a lot of these women don't want to post their boyfriends because, they'll get less male attention. What we see frequently is that these women want to advertise themselves on social media while having a boyfriend at the same time. And the funny part is there's a lot of guys out there who will tolerate this stuff. And, they believe they're insecure if they don't want their woman doing that. And, that's why they don't enforce those boundaries and whatnot. Because, hey, they don't want to be called insecure by the feminist. And, it's just another example of feminism at work. Ooh, you're putting standards on me. That's oppression. Like, it's like, hold on. I've been told since I was a little girl that what you're doing right now is really, really bad. So there must be something wrong with you for trying to put this on me. And it's just like, holy shit, this is what we're dealing with. The uphill battle that men have to face just to get a good woman because of so much propaganda like this. I mean, it's relentless. You got to give them credit. It is relentless. It's perhaps the most successful social engineering campaign ever done. And so the next time people want to, blame men for the decline in birth rates and they want to act like men aren't stepping up or that men are the ones who are just like misaligned, just remember this kind of stuff right here.